Have you ever heard the saying, stubbornness gets you nowhere? Well, today I've got a story for you that brings this saying to life, featuring a couple of very, very stubborn goats. Imagine a beautiful green village split in two by a wide, rushing river. The villagers built a bridge to connect the two sides, but it was super narrow. So narrow, in fact, that only one person or one animal could cross at a time. It was a one-way street, you could say. One sunny morning, a goat with thick curly horns started crossing from the east side of the village. At the very same moment, another goat with a fluffy white beard started crossing from the west. They both trotted along happily, probably thinking about the delicious green grass waiting on the other side. They walked and walked until bump they met right in the middle, nose to nose. Now, remember how narrow the bridge was. There was no room to squeeze past each other. The first goat, the one with the curly horns, stomped his hoof. Move aside. He bleated. I was here first. The goat with the white beard shook his head. No way. You move aside. I'm in a hurry. I'm not moving. Well, neither am I. They stood there for a long time, glaring at each other. The sun got hotter, the river rushed below them, but neither goat would budge an inch. They were just too proud, too stubborn to be the one to back down. The argument got louder and angrier. Their bleats echoed across the valley. Finally, their argument boiled over. If you won't move, I'll make you move, shouted the first goat. He lowered his head and clash. Their horns locked together. They started pushing and shoving, trying to force the other one back. They were so focused on winning the fight that they completely forgot where they were standing on a tiny, narrow bridge high above a deep river. They pushed and shoved, their hooves slipping on the wooden planks. The bridge swayed dangerously. With one final mighty push, they both lost their balance. For a split second, they were suspended in midair, their eyes wide with surprise. Then, splash! They tumbled down, right into the cold, fast-flowing water below, and because of their silly pride, neither of them got to the other side. A few weeks later, another pair of goats found themselves in the exact same situation. A brown goat started from one end and a black goat from the other. Just like before, they met right in the middle of the narrow bridge. The brown goat looked at the black goat looked back. For a moment, it seemed like history was about to repeat itself, but these goats were different. They were wise. Instead of starting an argument, the brown goat thought for a moment. Then she did something very clever. She carefully knelt down and laid flat on the bridge, making herself as small as possible. The black goat understood immediately. He carefully, slowly stepped over the brown goat's back. He was gentle, making sure not to hurt her. Once he was safely on the other side of her, he turned and gave a little bleat that sounded a lot like "thank you, then." The brown goat stood up, shook herself off, and continued on her way. And just like that, both wise goats crossed the bridge safely and got to enjoy the tasty grass on the other side. It's a simple story, right? But it teaches us something so important. Sometimes in life, we meet obstacles. We might get into disagreements with friends, family, or co-workers. Our first instinct might be to be like the first two goats, to be stubborn, to insist on our own way, and to fight to be right. But as we saw, that kind of pride can lead to both parties losing. The wise goats show us there's a better way. By being a little humble, a little cooperative, and willing to compromise, we can solve problems so that everyone wins. Sometimes, taking a step back or letting someone else go first isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of true wisdom. What do you think? Have you ever been in a narrow bridge situation? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.